Today's podcast is presented by Podgo. Podgo is the easiest way for you to monetize your podcast, providing podcasters with a flat rate for ad space so you always know how much you get when you include an ad from Podgo. I recently joined as a member, and you can too. Apply today to become a member and immediately be connected with the advertisers that fit your audience. That's podgo.co at podgo.co.
And please put unprofessional development in the "How did you hear about Podgo?" That will give us a little finder's fee. Thank you. Hello, unprofessionals. So as you know, now we're doing real commercials, not just the silly ones that we normally do. So today I've got with me my daughter Micah. Say hello, Micah.
Hi.
She has an Etsy account. It's called what?
Roo Makes Bracelets.
Roo Makes Bracelets, okay? We'll put a link in the show notes for you for sure. So she makes some friendship bracelets. She even has one that is kind of an unprofessional bracelet where she's made the unpro letters in the bracelet. So if you need a bracelet, go to Roo's Bracelets. Anything else you want to say about your bracelets?
No.
Okay. Well, she's a little kid. She's 11 years old. She's entrepreneuring. You know, support her. And go to Roo's Bracelets. Click the link in the show notes. Thank you. Say goodbye, Micah.
Bye.
Unprofessionals, we need your help. Mealy and I keep trying to explain to the world how special we are, but they won't believe us. Here's what you can do. Check in the show notes for the link to the People's Podcast Awards. And please nominate us so the rest of the world can realize exactly how amazing we are. Enjoy!
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to another exciting episode of Unprofessional Development. I'm Tedisco.
And I'm Mealy. And we have no guest today. It's just us.
Just
unprofessionals. Just the two of us. We've sung that enough. Anyway, today, so what we're doing is, I think we're going to call Fictional Fan Mail Feedback is what I came up with. Because
ooh, I like it.
Yeah.
The alliteration.
The alliteration. We love some alliterations here. Alliterations.
I like a little alliteration.
They make you sound smarter and cool and whatever. So, anyway, you guys have sent us no email because, I don't know, you don't know how to send an email. You're afraid we'll reply all to your email. I have no...
Intimidated by our celebrity.
Yes, that's it. So we're kind of priming the pump here. We will read off some potential emails that could have happened in our minds from some fans.
So we're really, we're not lying. We're just ahead of the curve. We know the fan mail's coming.
Yes.
I know it's tough to get to the post office right now. But
it is.
I'm sure, once people are okay getting out to this post office again, it'd be like Santa Claus, just a big bag.
Is it tough to get to the email post office? I don't know if that's tough.
You know, for some people, all right, it is. Okay? And that tone isn't helpful. So, yeah.
All right. Do you want to start off?
Oh, no, I think you definitely should.
Okay, I'm going to start off. Okay. So, this one says, "Dear Unprofessionals."
Oh.
Yes, so nice. So well written. What is the best advice or tip that another teacher gave you that you pass on to others? Signed, Vinny from Vegas.
Wow. Best advice I've ever gotten that I pass on to other teachers. I can tell you the worst advice I got.
Oh, that's even better. Sure.
My first year teaching, I had somebody who was trying to coach me.
Mm-hmm.
And the advice that they gave to me was, just don't be afraid to get mad and yell at the kids.
Nice.
I was forced to spit take.
Good.
Really there.
Was this your assigned coach or just someone who just kind of took on that role?
He might have been my mentor teacher. I don't know because nobody really mentored me.
Okay.
So it might have been him.
Yeah. I was assigned a mentor.
Mm-hmm.
Who knew nothing about math, which is a subject I teach.
Right.
Mentors are very often just kind of randomly assigned, it seems. I think sometimes there's some thought that goes into it, and sometimes it's just a last minute thing they do, and they go, okay, we have to assign mentors. So this guy, great guy, I love him, really enjoy working with him in general, but this is not something he wanted to do. This is not something he really decided to take on. We met 3 times one time in my classroom, the other time just in a stairwell, and he had me sign papers to say that he had fulfilled whatever. He's like, can you just sign this that says we mentored? Because at that point it was paper. Now I'm sure it's done electronically. And I'm like, whatever. I mean, I had like an actual other teachers that were unofficial mentors that I was like, the best way really to have a mentor is to like adopt a mentor. They don't even realize they're your mentor as you're just asking them your questions. And then later on you told me, did you know you were my mentor? And they're like, oh, no, I was just answering goofy questions that you were asking that I did. So I don't know if this is advice, but this was passed on to me by someone that I really like this, and it helps me sometimes with the end of the year stress. When you get to the end of the year, sometimes there's all this stress. And so he said to me, by the last day, you will be all the way caught up. You don't have a choice. And it happens.
Yeah.
Have you ever seen anyone in there at school in July because they didn't catch up on the last day? You decide to not grade something or give everybody hundreds, or you just, whatever happens, at some time, grades are finalized, things are turned in. The school is like, you can't come here anymore. The janitor's about ready to clean this place. Get out of here. And you're done. Whether you finished all the things on your to-do list or not, you're just done. So I've learned to just kind of embrace that when people are like running around like, oh, we've got like this checklist at the end of the year. And I'm like, guess what? I'll be done one way or the other at some point.
Yep. So it's all going to happen. I think the best piece of advice, honest advice I got, and it's really obvious to me now, but it's something I really needed to hear when I was just beginning teaching, is somebody said, don't forget to punish the good kids.
Oh, wow.
Because, well, the thing is, like, it's easy to fall into favoritism. Like, it's easy to say, like, yeah, you messed up, but I like you.
Yeah.
And so you got to remind yourself, like, wait, no, that's a rule, and there are consequences, and that'll also help the bad kids fall in line too. And I say bad and good kids, but I mean, we know they're not bad and good kids.
Make bad choices and have bad behaviors.
Right.
Yeah.
So so when you remember to hold that line with the kids you like, it sends a firm message to the whole class, and that really helped turn around my classroom management.
Yeah. Do you have what I've had, the like private conversation of, listen, I know you're not a bad kid. I know but this is what's going to happen, and these are going to be the consequences. I think it's happened at least once or twice in regards to cheating. It's that kid who was like raising their hand and asking for help, and they were doing all these things that they really wanted to try, but they're struggling for whatever reason, and there's someone who cares about grades. And then you made some rule, like whatever it is. If anyone talks to their neighbor while we're testing, I'm taking up your paper and it's going to be 0. You're going to have to come back and make it up, or whatever it's going to be. And like, then that kid that you know is a good kid does that thing, and you're like, oh, you have to go do that consequence because you know that's happened. So
not because you're a bad person, it's not because I hate you, but because the rules are the rules, and they're the same rules for everyone.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Email number 2. So we got this one. It says, "Dear unprofessionals, long-time listener, first-time caller. Love your podcast. I would like to know, what are some websites that you use in the classroom, either to get things for the classroom or to have your students go on in the classroom? Much love, Linda from Levittown."
Oh, well, Linda from Levittown. So there's 3 that are my go-tos, I would say. One that's more recently adopted, but which is Edpuzzle. I love Edpuzzle. Edpuzzle is a way to take YouTube videos and it automatically pauses them, and the kids have questions that they have to answer to advance the video. So there are some that are already there that boom, they're there. You just click on it and it interacts with Google Classroom, so you can assign it to your Google Classroom. I'm not going to count Google Classroom as a website. That's like a no-brainer. But so it'll zip it into Google Classroom and it grades it for you and all that good stuff. The other one's math specific and something called Delta Math. It also grades it for you. It has infinite amount of problems. A lot of them are aligned with standards, and you can actually search by the standard. And it's got a lot of different things. It's sometimes a little glitchy with certain things when it comes to kids getting in and passwords and stuff like that, but it is really helpful. It's And so I use that one a lot. And then some people say, how do you pronounce Quizizz?
Quizzes.
And I say quizzes, like the French do. Okay.
With your
And quizzes is awesome. It is basically a better version of Kahoot.
Yeah, I was going to say that one too. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just Kahoot that someone said, oh, there's an idea, but that can be done better, and I'll do it.
Yeah,
and
the fun, you can assign it as like quizzes or like homework and.
Right. And I think Kahoot's trying to come up, and Kahoot's trying to do some of the stuff that they see Quizzes doing. But one of the neat things about Quizzes is when the kids get these answers right or wrong, that memes pop up. And the cool thing is that you can make your own memes. So I love making memes. I make memes based on just your normal backgrounds, like Picard with the face palm or the angry ladies and the cat. But I also have taken like the principal's picture and turned it into a meme and put a little thing that the principal might say to them. So that picture pops up when they're taking the quizzes. So it's a good time. And then the last one I would say, and this is another math one, is Desmos is a really good one. It's a graphing calculator that's really good for math as well.
Desmos.
All right. Do you have some to disco?
Yeah. For English, almost every year I have my kids do at least one day on Factitious, which is a website. It's a game.
Okay.
Where an article will pop up and they have to determine if it's a real article or a fake article.
Nice.
And so, yes.
Like two truths and a lie almost.
Yeah. And so like when we talk about like how to find reliable sources and what is false information stuff, I always have them go to Factitious, and that one's always good. I like to use, so for articles, kids hate reading nonfiction for the most part. So to get my kids involved, I let them pick out their own articles by going to the Players Tribune.
The Players Tribune. Oh.
The Players Tribune. It's an online magazine where all the articles are written by athletes.
Okay.
Like celebrity athletes.
Oh, not the Players Tribune, where it's written by people with multiple significant others.
No scrubs on the Players Tribune. So
hate the Player Tribune, hate the Player game. Anyway, sorry.
No, you're not.
I'm really not.
So I have go there, and it's cool because it's also like you can search specifically by sport. So if you specifically want to find an article by a soccer player or a football player, you can go to that. It's really good. And I think the other one is, I think it's called Free Rice.
Oh.
Games on vocab and games on grammar and all that. But the more you play, the company raises money to donate food to third world countries.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So Free Rice. Really fun games, and some of them are more fun. It's like, name the flag of the country, but some of them are specific to grammar and vocab.
Mm-hmm.
And I believe there's math on there as well. I don't know, because I stay away from math.
Yeah. We've actually, by the way, speaking of Kahoot, just backtrack in a minute, we've actually played Kahoot at home as like a family fun game, and we'll just go on there and like just do like Disney lyrics or something, that we all know. We'll just play Kahoot at home. So that's another fun game you can play.
Yeah, it's easy if you're doing virtual, game nights.
Yes.
Yeah. All right.
So it's my turn again?
Oh, it's your turn.
Okay. Greetings and salutations, unprofessionals. What tip would you give to someone thinking about starting their own podcast? And this is from Caillou from Cali.
Caillou.
Yes. By the way, don't let your kids watch Caillou.
No.
What tip would you give to someone thinking about starting a podcast?
I mean, do it.
Yes.
It's surprisingly easy and it's lots of fun.
Yes.
Find a partner that you really like to work with.
I would say having a co-host makes it so much better. It's almost say like losing weight or working out or some other thing that you say you're going to do. Having that accountability and knowing that, okay, I need to do this because da-da-da-da-da. Mm-hmm. I've actually found that in teaching. When my second year teaching, I work with a really good team, and the one guy that I work with, he would always assign us homework. So we would have, when we would get together for a little meeting, and like, okay, we're planning on doing this and this. He's like, okay, your homework is this, and Joe, your homework is that, and George, your homework is this. And then I'm like, oh, okay, I've like actually got to go do this because I've got to get this ready for the other people on the team. So I do think that collaborating is really good advice. I mean, if you can't find somebody, just speak into a microphone, but I think having a co-host is good.
Honestly, like you don't even need a whole lot of software or hardware.
Yeah.
It's like anything else. It's as much work as you want to put into it.
Yeah.
So,
and I would say the other thing is contact us. If someone wanted to like chew on your ear and talk to you about what we've done for the podcast, we would have no problem helping them, supporting them, pointing them like to the little things that we actually know how to do.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
The very little things that we know how to do.
Okay. Hit me.
Okay. So this one says, "Hello, unprofessionals.
Oh,
I think your podcast is muy bien.
nice.
How do you like to decorate your classroom?
Ooh.
Much love, Mindy from Miami."
Mindy from Miami. Okay.
Yes.
Bienvenidos, Miami, as Will Smith says. How do I like to decorate my classroom? Well, some of the things that I have, and maybe we'll post a link to the video of my classroom. I don't know how repeatable this is, because if everyone did this, it just wouldn't work, because there's so many teachers and not that much stuff. But I went on Facebook Marketplace and have asked people to donate stuff that they're selling on Facebook Marketplace to my classroom. So I have got pub tables and bar stools as my classroom. And since I'm a math teacher, I've taken whiteboard contact paper, and we'll put the link to that in Amazon that I've put all over there. I also have whiteboards all over my walls. There's this cheap stuff that's basically used or in bathrooms behind something to prevent moisture or whatever, but it works as a whiteboard that's really cheap. It's about $12, $15 for a 4-foot by 8-foot piece. And it's kind of smeary version of a whiteboard, and you have to use a lot of whiteboard cleaner, but it works pretty good. And then the posters. Oh, okay. There's always the like, hey, have the kids make your posters.
Mm-hmm.
Have you had kids make any posters for you to Disco?
So what I do is I assign it to the entire class. Like, I'll give them a group, and then I'll hang up, like, the few that are good.
Yeah. It's tough. And you want to have ones that kids made, but, like, I hate to say it, and it's because I can understand the vision better. I make better posters than them for the most part. And one of the big things that they don't always understand is scale. So I always have them make it in pencil first, and then I'll have them, I'm like, walk on the other side of the room, have your partner hold that up. Can you read that? Oh, you can't. Too small. Start again.
Mm-hmm.
I guess that's it. How do you have your room decorated? Sparsely, from my recollection.
Yeah, I don't decorate much at all. And I probably should. I get those giant Post-it pads, and I'll have kids make posters for me sometimes. Sometimes I'll have them do, you ever seen like advent calendars? Like that, but I have them do like chapter reviews of books. So it'll be like chapter 1, and then you can open it up and like see behind it of what happened. So that way it doesn't spoil the book for kids who do want to read it.
Okay.
And they can put a picture on the front. I have them do that. I have them diagram sentences, which they hate.
Ooh. When will I use that in real life? Anyway, sorry.
But you do! It's such a great way to just deconstruct our understanding of grammar. I love
diagram your mom's face sentences.
He'll do it. He's a madman. But yeah, other than that, I have, and quotes. I like to find quotes, and I just, will put them in a fancy font and print them out.
Okay, so what's a quote that's in your room that you can, like, off the top of your head?
Cheesy stuff. Stuff like, education is not the filling of a cup. It is the lighting of a fire.
Very good. I like
Cheesy
that one.
Stuff.
I have one that isn't like necessarily a quote, but I just wrote there that helped. I've mentioned this on the podcast multiple times, but it's like on the door leaving out, and it says, "Today is the day you change someone's life," but it's also there for me to kind of remember that I have an opportunity to change lives.
One new thing that I did do, a lot of times they just get the reading in a vacuum. Like here's a thing to read, and then they read it. I've put up a timeline of major events in literature and the world. So like putting up major wars and the invention of radio and like, all this stuff, but also putting up there, like, where is Shakespeare in all this? And where is Hemingway? And where is Percy Shelley? And so when I do that, then like when I give them something, I can say like, okay, so we're here around this area. So we're talking about the same time period that this person's writing. And we're talking about around the time of Edgar Allan Poe. And Or when we talk about Shakespeare, we're like, okay, yeah, so here's Shakespeare, and you'll notice he's a little bit before the invention of the toothbrush. So we're going back a ways.
Yes.
And it just kind of helps put it in perspective for them.
It's nice that cross-curricular stuff, too, in terms of, like, knowing the kids knowing, oh, yeah, we studied, this is when the colonies were colonized, or when the Industrial Revolution took place, or things like that, the Civil War. And major events like that. When I say this is
old, I don't mean like it's as old as Billy Joel. I mean it's before the writing of the Quran. So,
There you go.
Yeah, because the past is just one big mass to them that they can't separate it.
Yeah, I think I've used this before. It doesn't matter. I'm always... By the way, there's a theme to this podcast of me not remembering things.
There's a theme of my life of me not remembering things.
But I'll be teaching geometry. And so we're doing whatever it is. And this is my first year teaching. We're teaching geometry. So now we're going to do exterior angles of polygons. And so I start talking about exterior angles of polygons. And some kid will go, is this new? I'm like, no. The Greeks came up with this literally thousands of years ago. No, Mr. Mealy, I mean new to us. Oh, I thought you meant that, is this like a new invention? No. Yes, we haven't covered this before. No, but it's not new. It's the Greeks did it. All right, it's my turn to ask a question, I think, right?
Oh, it's definitely, it's not a question. It's a fan mail.
It's a fan mail. Oh, yes.
It's a question from the universe.
Yes. This one's from Twitter Face.
Ooh.
Yeah, this question. Some of our questions have come from TikTok. Can people ask you questions on TikTok? I don't know.
They have to ask it while they catch the whoa.
Nice. I don't know. That's a thing. It says, "Hey, unprofessional stoopy faces. What is your favorite dinner? Include an appetizer, entree, and a dessert." And it's from Frère Jacques from France.
Wow.
Yes.
Thanks, Frère Jacques.
Yes. So appetizer, entree, and dessert. If you want to make it one whole thing, or you can go, this is my favorite they don't necessarily have to make a cohesive meal. I'll let you off the hook that way.
All right. So I don't order appetizers because I love all of them. If I'm getting an appetizer before a meal, my favorite always is mozzarella sticks. I love mozzarella more than most members of my family. It's very close to my heart in so many ways. It will kill me.
My struggle with mozzarella sticks is the quantity, because you're just paying for the cheese, to the cost. I'm like, I get 4 mozzarella sticks for $16.
I know.
And it's the least shareable app. It's not like chips and queso.
Right.
It's you're definitely counting how many mozzarella sticks everyone at the table ate, or whoever you shared the mozzarella sticks with, as opposed to the bloomin' onion, when no one's keeping track of how many pieces of bloomin' onion you ate.
Right. But
they are delicious.
It's so good though. Mm-hmm. I know. Or if I'm just getting snacks, not just an appetizer before a meal, I gotta go buffalo wings.
So good.
Though my favorite is wings with, barbecue sauce, and then I dip them in ranch. Again, all these things will kill me, so I try to avoid them.
I'm a big blue cheese fan. I used to not like the blue cheese, but now I'm all the way blue cheese. I love blue cheese.
I like blue cheese with buffalo, but if it's a sweet sauce, I gotta have ranch.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I like a honey mustard barbecue sauce as well, if you've ever had that combo or not, but honey mustard and barbecue go really well together.
Huh. I have not.
Yes. And they make you fart later.
Good to know. Think. My favorite meal is...
Oh, by the way, this is a new joke I've been playing with.
Dear.
Okay.
Oh, dear.
This hasn't actually happened, but in my mind it has.
We should definitely do a podcast of just teacher jokes.
Yes. So, when I fart, and my wife says, "Ooh, that stinks," I just go, "Oh, I was just testing. Thankfully, you're symptom-free from the corona right now."
Yep.
That's a joke, right?
Yeah, by all technicalities, yes.
All right. Do you have
meal and dessert.
Yeah, keep going. Yeah, go to the entree and dessert.
Entree, My number one is almost always baked ziti.
Okay.
I love baked ziti.
There's a theme here.
Mozzarella always. And
Yes.
I don't know how you pronounce it.
Mozzarella.
No, not mozzarella.
Oh.
So ricotta cheese.
Yes, I say ricotta.
I grew up on Long Island, and we just say ragut. And
Ragut?
Ragut.
Wow.
Yeah.
You think that's
Yeah,
the way the
mozzarella
Italians
ragut.
pronounce it?
That's how New York Italians pronounce it.
Huh.
Or at least the
Okay.
ones I grew up around. Maybe it was
You put that in your baked ziti? I'm more familiar with that going in stuffed shells and lasagna.
Oh yeah, definitely put that in your baked ziti. You put
Okay.
that in sauce, mix it all around, throw some cheese on top, bake it. Oh yeah, I could eat that forever. And my favorite dessert is brownies a la mode.
Mmm.
Yeah,
Okay.
scoop of vanilla.
I will say this though, both your appetizer and your dessert are time temperature sensitive.
Mm-hmm.
Like cold mozzarella sticks. Yeah.
They taste like sadness.
It's like, oh, this is just now I like a rubbery cheese block.
Like a warm beer.
Yes. And then brownie a la mode, the brownie has to be hot enough for the ice cream and all that. You have to time that really, really well. Well, I've got a new appetizer that I just discovered. I got this restaurant called Firebirds. I don't know. I know they're a chain. I don't know how widely spread they are, but they have a lobster spinach queso. Oh my goodness.
Ooh.
So good. And it's got just the right amount of zing to it, but it's got that lobster, saltiness in there and the texture of the little pieces of lobster in there. It's really, really good. And, entree, I'm going to have to say just barbecue. And by barbecue, I mean what we mean in North Carolina. Not something that barbecue is not an activity. It's a food. Okay. It's pulled pork that has been cooked for 100 hours with smoke. And then I like it from certain times where I get some barbecue baked beans and also some coleslaw. And I make like a little pizza on like a slice of garlic bread where I put the barbecue on there and I put the baked beans and then I put the slaw and then maybe some barbecue sauce as well and eat that.
Can I just say, I find the most ridiculous thing when a region takes pride in its barbecue. And I love barbecue.
Boy,
Don't get me wrong.
Are you trying to alienate all of our listeners from different places?
Absolutely. But like places that are like, oh, we make the best barbecue. It's like, oh, you've mastered the art of putting meat on fire? Wow.
Wow.
That's just a way of saying we don't cook much.
Wow. We are now going to get some emails. I think we will now
definitely
get
Good.
the emails. Wow.
But I'm just saying,
no, there is much, much more to it than that, Tedisco.
Is there?
There is.
Is there?
There really is.
We put our meat on fire. Yeah, that's what you do with it. Have you tried other ingredients?
Now, I will say this. The only bad barbecue is obviously unseasoned barbecue.
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. And like I said, I love barbecue. I love Southern barbecue. I just think it's funny when that becomes like part of a region's identity. Like saying our place is good at barbecue is like saying I'm really good at checkers. You're really just saying I'm not good at a lot of things.
Well, there's the vinegar-based sauces, there's the tomato-based sauces, there's the certain kind of woods that you use, there's
It's meat on fire.
Okay, all right. And then dessert, it's a toss-up between red velvet cake, which I absolutely love, and Milky Way cake, which is a recipe that I found in a magazine that I make that is absolutely delicious. Want me to give you the 2-minute Milky Way cake recipe?
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So, sorry, if you're diabetic, please fast forward about a minute and a half. So, I take 13 fun-size Milky Ways, chop them up into maybe about quarters or whatever, maybe even smaller, put them in a small pot with a stick of butter. And that you want to cook on low heat because the chocolate and the caramel melt at different times. And so you got to really slow till they all becomes one like kind of Milky Way goo. While that's melting and you're occasionally stirring that in the regular mixer, you put in your regular cake stuff. So some eggs, some sugar, another stick of butter. So we're up to 2 sticks of butter here. Now, some flour, of course, because that's what cake is. And, some buttermilk. There might be some baking soda or baking powder. I can't remember which, but anyway. So then you pour the Milky Way goo in the cakey stuff. So now we've got like the Milky Way cake. All right. And then we put this in a bundt cake pan and we cook it for however many minutes at 300 and whatever degrees. Comes out. We let it cool. We take 8 more fun-sized Milky Ways and another stick of butter number 3. And we put that and we make some more Milky Way goo. It's going to be the glaze this time. And we slowly drip that over top of the, cake. And so it is just unbelievable. And it is just, it's disgustingly sweet. If you don't like disgustingly sweet, then the people are like, I can only just eat a little bit of this. But true sugarholics can eat this and just, it's fantastic. I try to just make it a couple times a year because I have no idea what the calories are in one.
One of the things you don't want to research.
Yeah. So That's some good stuff.
One here. Okay, so this one says, "Hey there, unprofessionals. Hate your show. Barely
nice.
Listening. Please stop using my name. What's the worst movie you've ever seen?" Signed, George from Germany.
Nice. What's the worst movie I've ever seen?
Worst movie you've ever seen.
Okay. So I've got 2. One, I actually walked out of the theater, and that was called V.I. Warshawski. Are you familiar with that?
No.
Okay, it starred Kathleen Turner in her post-Romancing the Stone post-Jessica Rabbit days. And she played some kind of, I think, a detective where she was investigating some kind of a crime. And I was there with she was a female friend that was kind of a kissing friend a little bit. You know, not like full benefits, but just, maybe some health care. But, maybe a 401k, no health care. But anyway, when they say friends with benefits, that's what they mean, right? That this person takes money and puts it in a 401k for you. And,
absolutely. Stock options?
Yes.
Yeah.
But we literally, I looked at him, I'm like, have you seen enough? I'm like, yes. I'm like, okay, let's go. And we just walked out. And the other one still disappoints me to this day. And it is one of those movies that I'm going to think that possibly you like because you're just such a weirdo.
Probably.
And it is The Royal Tenenbaums.
Oh, Royal Tenenbaums.
It stars
everybody.
On paper, it is like one of the movies I would just like pay double to see. It's got Bill Murray. It's got Owen Wilson. It's got Ben Stiller. It's got,
Gwyneth Paltrow.
Maybe Vanessa Redgrave.
Yeah.
It's an all-star cast. And it's made by someone who's really famous for making good movies too, I think.
Wes Anderson.
I don't know if it's meant to be ironic. I don't know if it's going over my head. I have no idea what the game is, but it's just boring, stupid, annoying people with no point and no plot, and they just sit there, and the dialogue is not of any interest to me.
Wes Anderson is a very specific style, and people love it or hate it.
And you?
Yeah, I'm not a huge Wes Anderson fan. I did really like, what was the most recent one he did?
Budapest Hotel or something like that?
Yes, that one was good.
Yeah, I'm scared to watch that just because of how much I didn't like Tenenbaums.
I understand. Yeah, I mean, it's definitely his style. Yeah, Royal Tenenbaums was a weird one.
Because I really feel like in the movie-making world, this sometimes happens. If you can get the right guy, like you tell Ben Stiller, hey, Bill Murray's going to be in this movie. Mm-hmm. And Ben Stiller's like, oh, Bill Murray's in it? That sounds good to me. I'm at least like halfway in. And then you go to Gwyneth Paltrow and go, we've got Ben Stiller as an almost definite and Bill Murray. She's like, and who's directing it?
Wes Anderson. Oh, I'll do that, you know? And then tell Owen Wilson. Ben Stiller probably calls Owen Wilson and says, hey, you know, can you please show up for this movie too? And then all of a sudden, like and there are certain
just
movies
avalanches.
Right. That once you get like 2 or 3 people, the script can be garbage. Everything else can be garbage, but they start like going, okay, you know, I haven't watched Cloud Atlas, but I hear that's what Cloud Atlas is like.
Yeah. I've also avoided Cloud Atlas. It didn't seem fun.
Yeah. It's got 95,000 stars in it.
I know. I know it's coming. I'm waiting for Quentin Tarantino to put out a god-awful, unwatchable movie, and it's going to be completely star-studded because everybody trusts him totally blindly. And I see him just slipping and...
well, he's only making one more movie, right? Is he? I know the countdown's on. Is it 1 more or 2 more?
Who knows?
Remember he claimed he's only going to make 10 movies?
I did not hear that.
No,
I might have heard that.
He said he's only making 10 movies. I think kind of in
Kill Bill count as 1 or 2?
What's that?
Does Kill Bill count as 1 or 2?
I forget. I don't know. But, and he doesn't count, whatchamacallit, Natural Born Killers, I don't think, because that's not technically him, even though he wrote it. But it's very Tarantino-ish.
Yeah.
And I think he's trying really hard, because this is the one genre that he hasn't done yet, is science fiction. And I think he's trying really hard to be able to make a Star Trek movie.
Huh. I did hear that, for Empire Strikes Back, they tried to get David Lynch to direct it.
Oh, God.
And wow. I'm not saying I wanted that to happen, but I definitely want to see that movie.
Yes.
It's like when I heard that one of the original casting choices for, you know, the movie The Wrestler?
No, what's his name? Is that Mickey Rourke?
Yeah.
Okay, I haven't seen it.
To really help restart his career. I mean, it's really intense. It's very emotional. And one of their early picks for it was Nicolas Cage. And again, I don't want that to have happened, but I really want to see that movie.
Yes. Yeah. We could do I'm sure there are podcasts just about Nick Cage, but we're not going to go too deep into the Nick Cage conversation. No. But if you don't like Nick Cage, see Adaptation. I love that movie. But anyway. Have you seen Adaptation?
Yes, years ago.
Yeah, it's good. What was I going to say? Oh, no, but I think Tarantino and also we really are going to, if there weren't already 5,000 movie podcasts, me and Tedisco would do a movie podcast, but there's really just search movie podcasts and if you're not getting enough of this.
Everybody has an opinion on art, and that's an art everybody enjoys.
Right. Yeah. And, but no, I think Tarantino, maybe I'm just projecting here, but I think his kind of, idea is Stanley Kubrick, I think, is known for also making really stylized movies, but also having a relatively small catalog. Mm-hmm. Like you could watch all the Stanley Kubrick movies probably in a weekend, maybe, right?
Yeah.
You know,
and I love Kubrick.
Right. Right. But if he made, I mean, like, how long would it take you to watch all the Steven Spielberg movies?
I mean, yeah, who has that kind of time? We'd start with Duel.
I didn't know that's a movie.
Oh, it's so good. It's one of his earliest movies. It's, just a guy on it's a highway and it's just him and this giant truck and they're just road raging back and forth. That's like the whole movie, but it's really good.
Okay. Oh, by the way, I can't remember what it is now. I watched the movie recently. I really did like it. It was kind of weird, but I liked it. And, you're going to have to tell me what it is. Maybe you know what it is. The entire movie is a guy driving in his car, having phone conversations.
Huh.
That's the only set is him in the car. Other people are talking. Other actors are talking, but the whole movie is him in the car driving, to like a relatively urgent situation, and he's got marital issues. Is all I'm going to is all the spoiler I'm going to get. But it's really well done, and it's really really cool. So if I can figure out what movie that is, I'll let you know. Okay.
All right. So any other picks for the worst movie you've ever seen?
No. Have we gotten to yours yet?
No. Oh, okay. So I definitely have 3. I have also only walked out of one movie.
Okay.
And it's complicated.
Okay. And I have no idea who's in that. What's that about?
Alec Baldwin, John Krasinski, and it definitely tries to be a rom-com and is neither.
Okay.
It was bad. And we were just really bored. And it was also just an awkward series of events, where it was me and a friend of mine, and we wound up watching it in the same row as two of our ex-girlfriends.
Nice.
And, yeah, we just kind of like, we can leave.
Is this like,
we don't need to
how old
stay.
were you when this happened?
20s? So, I don't know, 20...
So was this like at college
22,
or
21?
past college?
Past college? It might have been around my college years.
Like, how did the chances of you like actually ending up like in the exact same theater?
Oh no, like, we were friends. And so, like, it was just a group of people who wound up going. And they just happened to be in the group.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah. It was...
So another friends with benefits situation again.
It wasn't either of those things. So that one was bad. I really wanted to walk out of the movie House of a Thousand Corpses.
Oh, wow.
It was bad. It's directed by Rob Zombie.
Okay.
And that was a bad movie. And there's a sequel to it that he made called Devil's Rejects that is phenomenal. Like, one of, like, the best, like, gory horror movies, like, ever.
Okay.
And yeah, House of the Corpse is just bad. And then I'd say, though, that the number one worst movie I've ever seen is called I Know Who Killed Me, which the title alone is just, I mean, this is a masterpiece of awful filmmaking.
It's like self-indulgent, would you say?
It
sounds like it could be.
I appreciated how much of a cluster show it was.
Nice.
It stars Lindsay Lohan.
Oh, there you go. That's a winner already.
Right. And she's a stripper.
Well, there you go.
But, the detectives have gotten her in on a case because her long-lost twin sister, who was adopted by a rich family.
So this is Parent Trap 2, actually?
Yes, Electric Boogaloo. No, hold on, it gets better.
Does she play her identical twin in this movie as well?
Yes, she does. It also stars Lindsay Lohan
as
her twin sister. So her twin
so that's how you
sister's
sell it to the
kidnapped
producers. Guess what?
And is being tortured. And so, but they have a psychic link. So stripper Lindsay Lohan is suffering the same injuries, and they need her to tap into her psychic link so she can find out who's killing her long-lost twin.
Oh, wow. Kind of like Cheech and Chong, the Corsican brothers, if you're familiar with that one.
No. Well, I mean, I love Cheech and Chong.
Okay. Yes. They did one where they were like identical twins, or they were twins that could feel each other's pain. I don't remember bits and pieces of it, but yes. It's called the Corsican brothers. It might have been based on some literary thing or something, I feel like. Sorry.
No idea. No. Yeah, this is just, it's so bad. And you can tell the story is going to be awful. And the acting, terrible. But every aspect of this, the directing, the editing, it's all so, there is a point where like they were filming a scene and before the cut, you could hear somebody off camera going, huh? Like, it's so bad.
Nice.
Oh man. Yeah, that definitely earned its Razzie.
Yes. Okay.
You know the
That's
Razzies?
good. I do know the Razzies. I do know the Razzies.
Raspberry Awards. Yes.
Yes. So what do you think, what percentage of the people working on and in that movie were, on some kind of substance during the entire, filming of that?
No, I think that would have made it better.
Okay.
From what I understand, that's kind of how like, not like substances per se, but that's kind of how Michael Bay does it. Like apparently his films are like a big party the whole time. Like him and his crew are just really close, and so like they'll just get together and like bring beers to set and yeah.
Okay.
Lots of camaraderie.
But I mean, I do see like, we're gonna, it's gonna have Lindsay Lohan, only it's like the Parent Trap, only sexy.
It's so bad. I Know Who Killed Me. Oh, God.
Yes. Okay. But don't ruin the I'd throw some kind of spoiler alert that she kills herself or something like that.
Oh.
Is there a good twist in the end? Don't tell us what it is, but is there a good twist in the end?
A good twist?
Well, there is what seems to be a good twist. What someone thought was a good twist in the end.
I don't remember.
Okay, that's fine.
blanked most of that out.
Alrighty. So I've got one more. Can you go one more?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
I think we have to.
All right.
For the fans.
For the fans. So, I'm done making up greetings. So I'm just gonna.
Question.
I didn't have them written down, and I was just kind of improvising as we were going along.
Oh yeah, same.
But so make up. We're going to stick in the entertainment industry here. Make up your ideal crossover episode from any two shows. This is from Benny from Britain.
Ooh, man. All right, I'm gonna need time to think about that one. So you go first.
Oh, I have to go first? Okay, so
you don't have to.
Well, a crossover episode. So we're going to take some characters from one episode and we're going to put them in another episode, and the hilarity will ensue. And so my first thought, as I'm kind of making this up as I go along, is that I want the genres to be like really far off. So here's what I will do. I will have the crew from The Office end up in Gotham. So I would really enjoy that. I think that would be good. That would be a lot of good interaction. Definitely Andy would want to help solve the crime, and he would take on his FBI thing. Obviously, what's her name? April. She's going to fit right in. Okay. She's now going to become a villain. She's going to leave Andy and she's going to become a villain and join up.
She's going to disappear for like 10 minutes and then they're going to find her running an underworld syndicate.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's definitely going to, fit in there really well. I don't know how Ron Swanson's going to act, but I think that would be good. And then we do the follow up where there's, a town meeting in Pawnee, and all the people from Gotham are now in the audience and asking crazy questions about the new crisis that's going on in Pawnee, and I think that would be an enjoyable episode as well.
Oh, man.
Okay, top that.
Okay. I would have the cast of Lucifer,
which I've never seen, but okay.
Oh,
I know he's plays the devil.
But,
and it takes place where? Like, just what would be the setting for Lucifer really?
Los Angeles.
Okay.
And I'd have them team up. Oh, you know what? Maybe I'd have them, in some way, get into an existential issue with The Good Place.
Oh. Okay.
So,
yes.
So, Lucifer was originally written by Neil Gaiman. And is a character from DC Comics.
Okay.
So the concept is he's just done running hell, and so he's taking a vacation in Los Angeles and getting some therapy and working on himself. And it's
nice.
Yeah, it's a really cool show.
That would work really good with The Good Place.
Yes, I love The Good Place.
Yes, The Good Place is awesome.
So much.
Yes.
Mike Schur is amazing.
Yes.
And I think they could really help him see some philosophy.
Okay. That'd be awesome. What's his name with, you could get some help from, what's our boy's name? Cuddy? Is that his name? No, not Cuddy. What's,
Chidi.
Chidi. Yeah.
Yes.
Cuddy is from House. That's a completely different person.
What the fork is a Chidi? Why can't I say fork?
Yes. By the way, speaking of Neil Gaiman, if you haven't listened yet, and if you're a fan of Tim Ferriss, Neil Gaiman has like a 2-hour interview on the Tim Ferriss podcast. I don't know how much you've watched the Tim Ferriss podcast, but
I don't know who Tim Ferriss is.
Oh, he's not quite Joe Rogan, but he's kind of up there with Joe Rogan in terms of he's getting
it's like our level.
Pretty much. Yeah, he's getting like millions of downloads a month or whatever crazy thing they're getting. Alrighty. So I'm out of questions, I think. Are you out?
Yeah, no, of the piles and piles of fan mail that we theoretically received, I think those are the best.
Those are good, yes. Did I mention the one about the meals? Did I even mention that was Momo from Morocco? Because I don't know how my family and I got into a conversation about the fictional YouTube virus of Momo. Remember when Momo was a thing? Wasn't that a great thing?
Oh, yeah. And my friends are all sharing it out. Like, look, kids are using this to harm themselves. I'm like, that's not how that works at all. That's not how humans think.
And there really wasn't a Momo, but someone just decided to pretend that there was this thing, you know. It was kind of like no one was really actually eating Tide Pods till people said people were eating Tide Pods, I think.
I'm just saying the moment we stopped, COVID-19 hit. So...
Could be.
I understand, like, you know, there's causation and correlation.
Yes, there is. So, anyway, we're going to wrap it up here, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate you listening once again. And please pass this podcast on to your friends and neighbors and all that. And go ahead and email us. There's a link. It's actually somewhere on the device that you're looking at right now. If you're listening to this podcast, you are literally like a scroll and a click away from sending us an email. It's that easy. So go ahead and do that and tell us what you think. Ask us goofy questions, show ideas, whatever you've got. We love to hear from you, and we do appreciate all of our listeners and just all the love we've been getting just by the fact that you are actually listening. So anything else to discuss?
No.
All right. So stay unprofessional? Oh, what were you going to say? Now you're going to say something.
I was just going to say stay unprofessional.
Oh, were you? Oh, okay, cool. Great ending. All right. Bye. Do-do-do-do.
Thanks so much for tuning in. Next week, our guest will be Derek Coughlin. So here's a little taste of the future with Derek Coughlin.
Well, first of all, I want to say thanks very much for having me on, and I really enjoy anything that's idiotic and unprofessional. So
Good.
this is right up my alley.
That's awesome.
So I got into teaching back in the late 90s. I'd actually trained to be a teacher in Ireland.
Okay.
In the 80s. That's a really, really long time ago. That's the 1980s. We're all there going, you know, the 80s, yeah.
Yes.
I studied...
you were hanging out with Sinead O'Connor, I'm sure, back in the 80s.
was actually, yeah.
Yes.
I actually shaved her head the first time. And afterwards I looked at her and I said, Sinead, nothing compared to you. Now she ran with that, obviously.
That's awesome.
Turned it into a pretty good career.
I always thought Prince was a liar about that.
Did. Yes.
So I did my teacher training in Ireland, and then I taught for a year, and I absolutely hated it with an incredible passion.
What age group was it that first year?
So they were, so it was secondary school in Ireland. So I had a couple of classes of like that 14, 15, and then I had a couple of 17-year-old classes.
Mm-hmm.
The problem was my younger brother was in the sort of senior class of 17, 18-year-olds.
No.
And I was 21.
Mm-hmm.
And in Ireland, of course, you can drink in bars at 18, but nobody cares because we don't have ID.
Right.
So you can really drink in bars from 15.
Right. If you're old enough to ask for it, you can have it, basically.
Yeah, so that was part of the problem. I'd be running into students everywhere. You know, and I was too young. I wasn't prepared. So I took it very badly, and I emigrated. You know, that's how bad my teaching experience was.
Gotta go to another country.
Yeah, and I came to Florida. I thought that's it for me. You know?
That's a good punishment to give yourself, I think.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, I thought that, you know, the Catholic school upbringing, the sackcloth and ashes kind of thing. You know.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So I came over here, and then I kind of drifted for a few years, and then I woke up one morning in Jackson, Mississippi, and I thought, I got to do something with my life. You know, you wake up in Mississippi. You gotta do something with your life.
There goes all our Mississippi listeners. Okay, go ahead.
So I came back to St. Augustine, Florida, in I think '97, and